What's going on, guys? This is John Zakari, and today I'm coming at you with a first look at Disney Infinity. Now, this isn't a review video by any means, even though I am going to do one later. This is simply something I wanted to put together to run down how this game actually works. With its variety of physical components like the figures, the power discs, and the playset pieces, it can be kind of confusing to figure out. So I just wanted to make sure that anyone interested in picking the game up has a better understanding of what they're getting themselves into. So let's start off by checking out what all this stuff looks like in its original packaging, and run down some of these prices because some of you may want to exit the video just after hearing that information. First, let's take a look at the game itself, which comes with 3 figures and retails for $74.99, and that's US dollars. Now you can purchase additional figures for the game either individually for $13.99, in packs of 3 for $29.99, or even get new playsets for $34.99. Now, if all this price information hasn't had you scared away yet, there are also these small power discs you can buy, which are used to alter the game experience. These come in blind packs of 2, meaning you never know which 2 you're going to get, and retail for $5.99 a pack. Alright, now that that's all out of the way, the kid in me can start liberating these toys from their boxes. So the Disney Infinity Starter Pack has just about everything you need to actually enjoy the game's experience. Here you get the game itself, the Infinity base, the playset piece, which gives you access to the Monsters University, Pirates of the Caribbean, and Incredibles playsets, 1 random power disc, and the 3 starting figures, Jack Sparrow, Sully, and Mr. Incredible. And finally, the starter pack and all the other figure packs each come with these cards with codes written on them that can be used to unlock the included characters in the upcoming Toy Box app for iPad and PC. So now that I've hopefully done a decent job of explaining the game's physical components, let's talk about how they work with the actual game. The easiest way to do this is probably by starting in the toy box. I'll start with the base completely empty, and you'll notice that once the toy box loads, a notification will pop up saying no figures detected, and one must be put on the base before playing. The spot where the figure needs to be placed will also start to blink red on the base itself. So let's put down Mr. Incredible.
Name's Mr. Incredible. Glad to have you on my team.
Now with the Mr. Incredible figure down, I'm free to explore and customize my toy box as I please. And remember, you're allowed to explore the toy box with any of the Disney Infinity figures. Currently my toy box is pretty boring because I didn't really change it much from the default, but I do have some enemy spawners in there so you guys can see a little bit of the game's combat. All of the characters in the game play pretty differently, so you'll notice that Mr. Incredible, who has super strength, uses a lot of high impact powerful moves, including a ground pound that launches up all the terrain in front of him. So let's pretend for a second that I did actually have an interesting toy box to explore, and I wanted to traverse it with a little bit more style. I was actually fortunate enough to get a rare mount in one of my power disc packs, which turned out to be Abu in his elephant form from Aladdin. So if I throw that on the corresponding hexagonal section of the Infinity base, Abu appears in the game and I can ride him. So now I believe the hexagonal pieces are actually referred to as gadgets, and they can really do a lot to modify your toy box experience. For instance, at one point I was exploring my toy box with Jack Sparrow, and I decided to put down one of these 2 tangled pieces I had gotten. And as a result, all of the textures in my toy box began to change before my very eyes to resemble that of Rapunzel's kingdom. Now, I originally thought that the second tangled piece I had was actually just a double, but in fact the changes made by this piece referred to the background and sky of my toy box. So I put down the second piece and my toy box began to change once again. Day turned to night and I suddenly found myself surrounded by a background reminiscent of the memorable Sky Lantern scene from the Tangled movie. Remember that these game-changing pieces are only usable in the toy box and not in the playsets. And speaking of which, let's talk a little bit about the playsets as well. Putting a playset piece on the Infinity base will allow you to access whichever playsets are held within that piece. The playsets are the story experiences of the game. In each playset you play as characters from that universe and progress through a new story in an open world environment. Remember that you can only play as characters that belong in that playset, so for instance Sully can't go into the world of Incredibles. Also, while you can't use the hexagonal gadget pieces in the playsets, you can use the circular power discs that go underneath your figure on the base to provide a unique power up, such as this Fix-It Felix disc, which gives bonus health. Well, that just about wraps it up for this video. I hope I cleared up some things that people may have been a little unsure about. And remember, I will be doing a full review of this game, but unfortunately, I have a wedding to go to this weekend, so it probably won't be up till the end of next week. As always, I'm John Zakari, and thanks for watching.